Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit since I filmed. Life has definitely gotten in the way, but while I've been gone, I've had a lot of new makeup come into my life. Some PR, some purchases, some palettes, a lot of complexion and blush especially. And I've been wanting to do dedicated videos on some of these products, especially as they came in. I just didn't have time or the bandwidth or energy to do it. So I wanted to do a get ready with me and try some of these for the first time, use some that I've been using a lot off camera, and just catch up, chat, and then slowly get back into the swing of things of actually doing some videos on these products. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup, and I really like indie sparkly shadows and high-end and luxury makeup. And I tend to be pretty analytical in the content I make. I try really hard just to make thoughtful, analytical videos that are helpful and fun for you. So if that sounds great, I would love to have you subscribe. I normally have at least one video a week, although life has made that hard lately. Okay, so I have a lot of new products here, a lot of stuff, a lot of blush and a lot of eyeshadow. So I won't be able to use everything, but I will be able to use some of it, and then I can show you the rest and we can make videos. I can make videos about the rest later. I think I'm gonna use the Nomad Route 66 palette today. This has been out for a few weeks now. This came, I got it in PR and I didn't know it had been delivered because we had an office in our building, but now it's just an empty room that packages are left in, and I just didn't know it was there. And then life got in the way, and then I was gone for a week. So I'm finally back, excited to really excited to try this. It is a really fun summer palette. I also bought two of the Titanium Foxes palettes, the Jay's Joy and the Crackle Chat. So I have used a couple of shades from this and would like to do videos on these soon if you are interested in my thoughts on the formula. And then Nomad, just a couple days ago, I got their 10th anniversary bundle, which is the remastered versions of the Berlin palette, the America's Parks, and the Fête de Provence. I already have the original of these. I never got the Berlin palette, even though I really wanted it. And I wish I had it, because the old one had a lot of satins, and I like satins. But this is redone with their updated formula. It's very sparkly, really pretty. I will definitely be doing a video on these because I have these, so I can do comparisons on this and then talk about this one. So that video will be coming soon, probably next week. And then I've just got a bunch of stuff. I got some more stuff from Salt. I just got a PR box from Kosas with their 3 new blushes. I bought the new Haus Labs blushes. Yeah, so excited to play around and talk. So I think I'm going to kind of talk about the products while I use them. Normally I like to post swatches and do swatches. I have carefully swatched a couple of these shadows, but I haven't really played around with this. I can still do a dedicated video on this if anyone is interested, but there's lots of videos, lots of content, lots of swatch content out there, so I don't know if it's necessarily that helpful or worth the hours it would take. But if you're interested, let me know in the comments. I will use this today. I really want to wear this blue. I think this is a really pretty palette, so I'm excited to play with this. I'm gonna start with eyes and then do the rest. Right now I just have some brow gel in, my SPF from earlier, and then I have a little bit of lip balm on. Edam sent me, I've wanted to try their lip balms forever, but they sent me their guava version of the lip balm. It's very strongly guava scented, like realistically, beautifully guava. And it's a really pretty kind of natural pink, so I'm wearing this. They did mess up and send me 4 of them instead of 1, so I do have extras that I'm going to be giving away. I already gave one away to my best friend, but I am wearing that brow gel skincare. I'm going to put a little bit of eye primer down just because I always have to, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so I love that there's greens and teal and then neutrals, so you can really do a lot. It's very earthy, but with pops of color, which I love. The neon shades in the middle. I think I'm gonna use the neon blue, which I could do a blue and green with these green looks, but I think I wanna use the neutrals and the blue. Although it is very tempting to do green with this Comet number 2 shade. That looks really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna swatch a couple of these and see what I'm gonna do. So here's that Comet number 2 shade. Here's that neon blue. That's really pretty. The neon green, and then there's like an iridescent green as well. The Gateway Arch shade. That was my plan, was the blue. I think this shade over the greens would be really pretty. I could use Roy's Diner, Scenic Byway, and the Comet shade. But I think I'm gonna do neutrals with the blue. Yeah, those are the shades. These are really pretty. I definitely need to, I think the greens with this would be a really easy one for work if I wake up in time. Oh, yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this off and then get it going. So I'm gonna start with the Gemini Giant shade on just a fluffy brush. And normally I wear eyeshadow to work and try out things off camera, but I haven't even really been wearing eyeshadow to work, maybe brown, but like I barely wake up in time to like put a little bit of skin tint on most days lately. I've just not had the energy or time. And then if we have a gym class in the evening, which I do multiple days a week, I don't have time to come home, wash my face and then go. So I don't really want to go with like a full face of makeup. It's a really pretty shade, kind of peachy, which is what I expected. Light peachy. It looks a little lighter on my eye than it does in the pan, but that's not surprising. You will probably hear Bean eating her dinner. I got home from work a little bit ago, and she is finally eating her breakfast, actually. So it's been like 3 weeks since I filmed. It's been a lot. Had a lot of, I have some chronic health issues, chronic fatigue, long COVID issues, some other stuff. And then work has just been a lot. So if you don't know, I got a promotion in February and my salary doubled and I went from the lowest person on the team to the boss, and everyone reports to me now, and it's good. I'm good at my job. I actually updated my resume this weekend just to make sure it was updated and was like, this makes me sound more impressive than I think I am. When my husband helped me do that. But it's been a lot. It's stressful. Like today is Monday. It was nonstop all day. I tried to film this weekend, but I have chronic pain, like I said, and I was just in too much pain to function and try to sit in front of a camera. And then today was just like non-stop. And so a lot of days when it's like that, I come home and I cook dinner. Dinner's in the fridge marinating. I just need to put it in the oven. But like, I don't normally have the energy to like do dinner, do the dishes, then sit down and film. But it's sunny out, it's nice out, and dinner's basically prepared. So I planned ahead to be able to film today. This is blending out nicely. It's pretty. I will definitely use a darker color. I like the contrast of a cool shimmer like a blue with warmer neutrals, so I'll probably do a little bit of Go West and then a little On the Road. I just want to see what this color looks like. Oh, that's very orange. It's way lighter than it looked in the pan. I don't think I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'm just going to go to On the Road again, which is just a nice warm brown. And put that down. So I just haven't had the time or energy, and I want this channel to grow. I love this. I would love to do this full time. That is the end goal. But, real life, work, dog, friends, stuff just, takes precedent. And then I was gone for a week because we went back to New York. So also, if you don't know, lived in New York before we moved to Seattle. I moved to Seattle for my PhD. And I haven't been back in like 2 years, and it was very nice to go back. 2 of our closest friends got married, so we got to go back went a couple days early, got to catch up with people and like settle in. Wedding, hung out with them. There was a birthday. There was a lot. We were going nonstop. And some of our friends live uptown. Some live in like Harlem and the Upper West Side, and then some live in, I don't know, I think some of them live in think I know a few people that live in Hell's Kitchen still, and then everyone else lives in different parts of Brooklyn, so it was a lot of going back and forth, which I don't mind, especially having a functional public transit again. Seattle has buses that, in my experience, don't always show up on time or at all, and sometimes take multiple transfers to get to places, which I don't like. I just walk everywhere. And then we have the light rail, but the light rail is basically being used as a commuter rail to get people from the suburbs in, and you can't really go in the city well on it. I could make a whole video just ranting about the light rail system here and how it's badly designed. But it was nice to have public transit again. It was good. I did not want to come home. Like, I missed Beam. I missed my stuff and my bed and all of that. But, like, I did not want to come back. And I think that's another clear sign that I need to find a job there and move back, because I just, now that I'm not in school anymore, I just need to be back where my chosen family is and my community. This is really pretty. Not quite like what I thought it would look like, but I like this. It was so nice to be back. We spent a lot of time out with people. And it was just good to see people again. I've missed some of them so much. Like, I talk to a lot of them constantly. Others I talk to less often, but I still talk to them. It was just so good. Some of our closest friends did leave New York. We had a weird group, like multiple disconnected groups of friends moved to North Carolina during COVID, like, that don't know each other. Some of them kind of knew each other and some of them didn't know each other at all, and they've somehow all ended up in North Carolina. But most people are still in the city. And I think the ones in North Carolina, they all had some kind of tie, like they were all from there at some point. Some of them had been in New York for decades, though. So I guess I need to go to North Carolina now to catch up with all of those people. But it was just so nice to have, you know, easy, cheap public transit and be in a real city again and see people in those like third spaces of like just existing in your neighborhood and not just like in businesses or in their car, and just being around people. I had a meeting with my former advisor from when I did my master's degree there. It was really great to catch up with him and walk through Washington Square Park, because I did my first master's degree at NYU, and like just being there made me miss it so much. So it's definitely a goal to move back. If I can't find a way to escape the United States and move to Europe somewhere, I gotta move to New York. I'm gonna pick up a little of the Cadillac Ranch shade and deepen the outer corner. This is just a rougher 13. I like that it's a nice dark neutral brown, so you can wear it with the greens and stuff as well. And I'm just gonna wrap that along my lash line. I will say my mental health has definitely suffered a little bit not being able to film or even play with makeup, like not having the time or energy to do like my creative outlet has definitely been rough. I don't know how everyone else is doing. Let me know in the comments. I feel like this year has just been, I barely filmed, I've barely had time for anything. I'm just feeling overwhelmed by life and then the world burning around us. It's been rough. But, you know, having chosen family and connection really helps. Although not being able to film and like have a creative outlet has definitely been rough. But I do work with my best friend now, which does help because I can see her every day. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the Road of Dreams shade. I think if you're very light, very fair skinned, you could like use this as your base shade or something, but I'm gonna use it as a matte inner corner. I like a matte inner corner over a metallic one. And I think it just adds a really nice brightness. Yeah, that's pretty. So it is now officially June, and that blows my mind. Happy Pride Month. to everyone. I forgot to say that earlier. Weird to think that it is already June. This year is flying by, and not in a great way either. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. I am excited for Pride things. One of my favorite bands is Dragonette, and I also really like the Knox. They're a DJ duo. They did a couple songs together in the past, and I've adored them, and now they're doing like a whole small album together with Aquaria from Drag Race, and they're doing like a little tour together, and they're doing one of the Seattle Pride things, and I bought tickets to that, so I'm very excited for that. And then I have a bunch of friends that perform in the city that I'm gonna hopefully try to go to at least some of their events, because you gotta support your friends. Excited to be less of a hermit now that the sun is coming out and see people, as long as, life and energy permit. I'm gonna go into the blue now. So pretty. Yeah, I really like that. Outside of the trip, there are a couple other life updates that I can give later. Some, maybe like a dedicated video of some of them. I've had some health issues that I've mentioned in the past, so finally making some progress on some of them. So if you're interested, I can chat about that in another video, but it's nice to have some progress being made. Oh, I really like that. I think I'm gonna go back in with the dark shade again. Fully ruined the embossing, but that is exactly what I wanted. Feels a little silly to be doing a full face of makeup to go roast some chicken and sit on the couch and probably watch a movie or something, but whatever. It's nice enough that I kind of feel like going to the roof and drinking wine, but I think by the time I'm done, it'll be too chilly up there. And I think I'm gonna take the Gateway Art shade, that like iridescent green. I'm gonna put a little bit of that. Oh, that stands out more than I thought it might. I'm just gonna tap it over then and blend the two together. Just add like that little bit of green sparkle. I should have done it right in the center. Oh well. I still like that. Okay, I'm just going back in with the dark shade. I am curious, and you can let me know if you feel comfortable, like, are you finding this year just flying by in a stressful way? And it I feel like other people I talk to are also like having a hard time feeling connected or like keeping up with things, just because it just feels like there's so much happening constantly. It's just like too much. Okay, I'm gonna jump to complexion now, and then I'll finish up mascara and stuff at the end. I did want to use Salt New York because they sent me a few things, including their new green mix-in, which is a nice olive color. I also did get a couple other shades of the Sneaky Balm, so like my go-to shade is shade 9, and then I got shade 8 for when I start to have a little bit more color. And then I got another shade of the concealer. So this is shade 9, and this is shade 10, so it's a little bit lighter for some brightening. And then these are color correctors. And then I also got the Oopsie Brown Blush shade, which is this one right here. So we'll see. But I'm gonna start with using the Sneaky Balm. I'm going to use a mixing palette. I'm gonna scrape out a little bit of the green and a little bit of my normal shade, which is shade 9. It is a decent shade match for me, but it is neutral, not olive. So having that green, I think, is going to be really nice. I have used it in some other products, like I mixed it in with my NARS foundation, which is a little bit too just gold yellow, and it did make a difference for sure. So I'm excited to keep playing with it. I think I got too much of the green. So it's definitely a trial and error. I made it a little too green, and I don't want to look actually green. I just want a little bit of green in my base, so it looks like my skin. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm gonna pick this up with a dry sponge. Yeah, that worked well. It's covering my redness, and I think it's just kind of disappearing over here. Okay, so I just have it here. I think that looks really good. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest real quick. Also, new tattoos. There was one weekend where I probably could have filmed, but instead I got a bunch of tattoos. This one's a little old, the Keith Haring one, but got a new disco ball. I've got, this one is Aurora, if you know who Aurora is, and I finally got my Buffy tattoo. I have a bunch more planned, so the sign that I make more money, finally getting all of the tattoos that have been on my list forever. I probably won't get too many more this summer just because sun, don't want to be in the sun with a fresh tattoo, but I have at least 12 more planned that I've talked to the artist about, so excited for that. So that is the Sneaky Balm over. I really enjoy the green mixer. I'm really glad that Kiki brought that out. And then for concealer, I'm gonna use Sneaky Balm as well. I could use others obviously, but I'm just gonna go into the two that I have and put that right here. I'm using a little bit of the brighter shade. I also really like the makeup I did for the wedding. It's kind of been my like go-to makeup plus some sparkly eyeshadow, so I might do a video recreating that. Kind of a get ready with me of my go-to makeup. I'm just going to use a couple of the other products. This is the taupe shade. I'm just going to bring a little shape back to my face. Sneaky Balm is sneaky in how much pigment it actually has. It's getting warm in my apartment because I have to turn off the air to film. Otherwise, all you will hear is the burr of it next to me. And I definitely am starting to get warm, and you can tell when I'm getting warm when my ears turn pink. Okay, so I think mostly left is blush. I have a bunch of blushes. Before I talk about blushes, I want to say while we were in New York, if you've ever been to Paris, one of the larger department stores there is Printemps. They opened in New York location. It's beautiful, tiny, beautiful. And they had some French perfume brands, French brands that you can only buy in France or Europe. And I did buy a new perfume, and I will talk about it later, but it is from the Hellenist, Paris. This is their Artemis shade. The shade name translates to the Shadow of Artemis, but I've been wearing this every day since we got it. So good. But I will talk about that in like my next favorites or something. I will probably use one of the Kosas powder blushes at the end, but I do have both the Haus Labs cream blushes and the Salt New York, like the Oopsie brown shade. I think I'll do a little bit of that one and then the Haus Labs on top so you can see those. So they have the cacao, and then this is the like Oopsie version of cacao that's just like straight up brown. And it is very pretty, very subtle, but it is so pretty. I'm gonna be wearing this so much. I'm so glad I was able to get this. And I hope, even though it was a mistake shade, that they make it permanent, because it's like the perfect, like subtle brown wash. I love it so much. I love a brown blush though, all year. And then I picked up two of these of the Haus Labs shades. So this is Glassy Cinnamon and this is Clove. I will do both. Just doing all the blush today. So this is Cinnamon. Really like it. You can draw on your face or just do it on from the back of your hand, and I'll do a little bit of Clove as well. Clove also, they both work as lips, but I like Clove better as a lip. because it's got a little bit more red to it. So if you want to see on my skin tone, cinnamon versus clove, put a little bit of that on there too. And then I'll use my finger to buff it in. It stains the lip really nicely and lasts very well on the cheek. I like this formula a lot. I also have the Tangelo shade because it's glowy and glassy, but still lasts all day because I find that it fully sets. It takes to powder well too, but it's just so pretty. This is a lot of blush, but you know what? That's fine. Maybe I won't use the Kosas one on top. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off real quick and put mascara and powder on. It's just the Haus mascara and my Charlotte Tilbury powder, and then I'll be back to finish up the blush and maybe put a little bit of brown under the eye. So I just powdered and threw on mascara. I've said this before, but the Haus mascara, I liked it when I first got it, but now that it's been open for a little while, I really love it. It's one of those that like, not instantly love, instantly liked, but then like love the longer I have it. I'm just taking a little bit of brown down here just to tie everything together. I don't always put shadow down here, but I feel like today I want to. And then I really like the way my makeup looks, but I am gonna add a little bit of one of the Kosas blushes. So they sent me their 3 new ones. So we've got Heartbeat, which is a red. It is a very vibrant red, really pretty. There's Chills, which is a berry, which on me just looks pink. I can show that off more later. And then Wavelength, which of course is gonna be my favorite because it is orange. I think I'm gonna dust a little bit of this on top. These are pretty pigmented. I really like the blush formula. I feel like their old colors were almost all kind of pink on me. But these new ones, especially the red, I mean, the red kind of turns pink, but like in a natural way. And this orange color, I've just got a lot of blush on today. I'm fine with that. Okay, so this is the finished look. Really liked the way this eyeshadow performed so far. I'll need to play with this more. I'll need to try out the greens and stuff to like give a thorough opinion, but I did get this in PR and the other ones obviously, and I do have a code with Nomad, especially if you're interested in like these ones that are gonna be, they're doing like specialty pricing, like their original pricing on these for the first, I think 2 weeks that they're launching, which I think is tomorrow. So these will be like $39 and then they'll go up in price later. But I think, especially if you have similar taste to me, I think Berlin is gonna be really, really nice. Like, look at those shimmers. But I will do a full video comparing those over the next week, and I will keep playing with this off camera. I can play with it on camera if you're interested as well. But these shimmers that they have in the new Berlin palette, I feel like I'll use them a little bit now, but this is gonna be my go-to palette once the weather cools off again. Okay, so that is everything. I really like the way I really love the way my complexion looks when I use the Sneaky Balm, especially when I set it with something like a blurring powder like this. Just so good. And these blushes, I did add a little bit of cinnamon on there as well as lips and blush. So good. There's 4 shades. The other ones are a little peachier, pinkier. These are like the darker two. But love the formula. Really, really happy I have them. So let me know, do you have any of the stuff that I talked about today? Are you planning on picking up any of it? Are you excited as much as I am for this olive green mix-in shade? Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to know how you all have been. Like I said, it's been like 3 weeks or so since I've even had to film, maybe even longer, maybe a month. I don't know if I filmed really at all in May. So I'd love to talk to you all, catch up in the comments. Let me know how you're doing, how life has been, what you're excited for this summer, what you're excited for this Pride season. I'd love to talk to you all and chat in the comments like always. and I'm excited to get back into the routine of filming. So thank you so much for watching. If you did see this all, remember to like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, and I will see you all in my next video.